What is up, everybody? I have another recap coming to you. This one from just a random war we had, a little farm war here with a clan called Portugal. As you can see, I'll show off what they did first. They didn't clear our 9s. They really were just kind of a 2-star clan. But, you know, they were pretty good at getting the 2 stars, so at least there's that. And then a couple 3 stars that they got. I don't know, maybe accident, who knows. But yeah, I will go and start the war recap, starting here with number 3, where we're going to have Juny. And this is Juny's attack. I'll go and give it to him. Just a little bowler walk. And as you can see right here, most of these buildings are basically just 1 tile away from the queen's reach. So he's going to bring his bowlers in instead and let them walk all the way around. I'd done a video before, if you saw the HeBola video before, of how powerful this can be, and it's just a great way to get a little further with your walks, right? So that's going to do a lot for funneling his Valks, as there's really no chance they're going to go around that outside. So once the bowlers are going around, he is going to wall breaker them in right there, and actually does put in multiple wall breaks to try to get them in. Unfortunately, I don't think they do, but it didn't really matter as they walk around. I'll speed it up just a little bit. Because, watch, I mean, they're just taking out a ton of stuff here. They haven't activated the Eagle yet. He does drop the Valk right there to start busting through. And as you see, they're just going to take out that corner and continue on to the middle of the base right here. Just getting, you know, essentially taking advantage of cutting off that funnel on the right side and letting the inside troops do whatever they need to do. Queen and King going, or, well, King hitting a wall. But Queen in the core, I mean, that's really all he needs in the core to take out these buildings, and has like 8 Valks or something in there, as the rest of his Valks are going around the edge, getting the rest of this cleanup done. Queen still has 1 healer on her, which isn't great, but it's okay. It does still have all the bowlers continuing to walk around the base right here with the King and the Grand Warden, and they're just going to keep doing their thing, walking around, and yeah, I mean, it's really pretty to watch, honestly. I'll speed it up because it basically is just cleanup at this point. But Queen's still doing her thing, just those couple last little point defenses there, and she'll be able to get through those just barely, actually. She almost didn't survive that arch tower, but it didn't really matter. The bowlers are all coming around anyway with the King, and the Queen will be able to reach that last builder's hut. Well, I guess not. She's going to hit a wall first. Didn't matter, though. Is going to get the 3-star here, so very nice attack here from Juny. The bowlers in action. Next, oh, that was also a fresh triple, by the way. That's also even more impressive. Next, coming down to number 5, we have Sorak doing just a little queen walk MassValk right here, and kind of funny. I don't think he wanted his queen to do what she did. So as you see, she's going to start walking down there to the south, and he probably assumed that she'd bust in after taking out that wizard tower. Unfortunately, she does get fixated on that mortar, so she go ahead and hits the wall right here. So at this point, he's pretty much changing his plan on the fly, I'm assuming anyway. And this was a fresh hit too, which you know, can be a little less predictable. Don't know what's in the CC. Unfortunately, she's not really going to walk the way he wants to, going over to that that eagle, right? But does get the CC out. Use a couple loons to be able to take out those point defenses on the edge. And now basically he's just going to send in all the Valks over here, hoping that the Queen is going to walk over toward the Eagle, but as you see, she was going in range anyway of the Inferno Tower, so she wasn't going to go in there. Jump goes down, Rage and Heal goes down as well, just kind of to push the Valks through a little bit harder, as well as using the Grand Warden ability to push them to the core. They do have just enough right here with those healers on them to be able to get to that Eagle, as a couple loons come in, do some support. Don't really do that much, as they are going to hit traps, but the rest of the Valks are working around quite nicely right here, taking out from the east and the west, just kind of converging down here in the south, as a couple barbs and wizards are walking along the side as well in order to get the rest of this base taken out and keep the Valks funneled properly. So, you know, just kind of showing how powerful Valks are even when your walk doesn't do anything, really. I mean, these open core bases like this can be taken out really easily because Valks are able to move through so quickly. But very nice attack to Sorak. Next, we're going to come down. Let's come down to 10. Yeah. Where we're going to have Variabilistic doing a little Queen Walk MassValk, or GoGiVa? I don't know. With the golems and the giants, it's a bit of an interesting attack, but he's going to use that basically to be able to tank this first Inferno Tower. He does have 2 freezes, which probably didn't need, but it just kind of goes to show you how how powerful the Valks are at getting through the middle of the base. So you can kind of tell, obviously, that it's a very strong Tesla core base right here. So having that freeze is still going to help out because he's going to be able to tank so many, or freeze so many point defenses there. Has that poison, actually 2 poisons and some wizards down, taking out the HoundLoon CC. Once the Loon is down, he's going to go and send his Valks and his King in, and they're going to be able to push through this base. Really good tanking coming in from the Giants and the Golems. Unfortunately, they do sort of go down this little hallway right here instead of going to the core. Luckily, he had not dropped his jump yet, or, well, they might have gone in if he had dropped his jump, but he goes ahead and drops the jumps there, and you can see that pretty much all the base is exposed to the Valkyries at this point. King ability used right there, going to drop that really high value freeze over those 2 Teslas, the Inferno Tower, and almost got the Queen in there as well, but did not. And then just go ahead and freeze it again, and probably could have moved that down, maybe could have gotten the Expo in there as well. Well, maybe not, but didn't really matter. As you can see, the Golem is going to be able to sit there on that Inferno Tower as the Valks come over and be able to take that out. Plus the Queen is still up with the healers on her, so she's able to push the rest of this base on her own. As you can see, as they're pushing through this last little bit here. Gonna have to pop ability, of course, as this gonna have a couple point defenses on her, and plus just for time. Actually, it's going ahead and saving her ability. I guess because the giant bomb there didn't really matter, though. Does take out the base really nicely. Very nice attack to Variabilistic. And next attack, let's come down to 14, where we have GSWarrior Mike, who is a pretty new Town Hall 10, but look at his Queen. He's already got it to 37, so very nice farming done by Mike here, as he's excited to be Town Hall 10, I guess. It could have been some credit card farming in there as well, you never know. But Queen walking around, starting on the side right there, sort of taking advantage of those army camps being there, and the Wizard Tower being slightly closer than the Mortar Tower over there, between the 2 options she could choose to walk. And as you see, she does have the the Hound on her right there. Does have to pop that Rage down, but she's able to take down those pups. Is ignoring one, which is a bit unfortunate. Always nice to have an archer or 2 to keep that healer from dying. But she is eventually going to take it out as the Golem Golem is making the funnel over there on the east side. King and the Valks all go down, and you can see they can reach the core from there. It's going to lose a couple to single target Infernos right here, but does not really matter as they rip through the core, rip through the Queen. Pretty good value freeze, getting that Archer Tower, Expo, and Inferno Tower as well. As a couple split off, hit a double giant bomb right there. Pretty much all the bombs are tripped at this point, so he's going to go ahead and send in all of his hogs over there from the northwest side. Being able to take those exterior point defenses down. Only a couple more Valks alive at this point, so they're basically just alive for cleanup. But as you can see, the Queen is still able to come around right here. Did lose her healers to the pups and the air defenses, but plenty of alive right here to converge over there on the northwest side to get the rest of this base taken out. So very nice attack here to GSWarrior Mike. Next attack, we're going to come down to, let's do 15 here. Apex. Apex, another one of our newer Town Hall 10s. Doing a little Queen Walk MassValk attack here. Does have a Golem to do the tanking. Queen's going to start over here on the north side and continue walking around, just kind of taking advantage of those exterior buildings. Going to wall break her in right there. She's going to kind of come over just a little bit, take out that cannon, and then eventually take out the CC, but she will come back over to that gold mine and continue walking around that way, just basically making a good funnel for the Valks here. Just making a nice slow funnel with his Golem right here and the Wizards, and once that funnel is well made and the CC under control, does go and drop the jump. I probably wouldn't have dropped the jump just because they would have ripped through those exterior buildings really easily. Drops the Rage down to get to the core. Does have a heal for once this Inferno Tower is down. No freezes used here, especially with lower level Inferno Towers. It just typically isn't high value unless you can at least get 2 Teslas in there or an Expo or 2, or it has to be worth it to bring that freeze and not bring a Rage or a heal. But they're just going to work through right here, be able to take down the last Wizard Tower as the King and the other Valks are coming around here in the south, taking out these last couple of point defenses. What is it, bud? What is it? Is it a nice triple? Yeah. Yeah, my dog likes to see nice triples. But the Valks are going to continue working around here to take out the rest of the base. Queen doing her thing. Does hit a triple giant bomb, which of course is the new meta apparently. But yeah, it doesn't really matter though. Plenty of troops still alive, working around here, getting the rest of this base taken care of. So ends up being a very nice attack here to Apex, getting the Town Hall 10 triple. And I think he actually had a 6-star war as well. Next attack, coming down to, yep, he did have a 6-star war. Mr. T did as well, but I'm going to go down to 18. Yeah, we had too many 10 on 10 triples this war, so unfortunately I do have to cut out about half of them, which, you know, sucks for all their hard work, but what can you do? A lot of them were Valk attacks anyway. But Charlie going to come in here just doing a little Queen Walk GoVaHo, and this was also a fresh attack. Does have to use that rage with the sweeper and a couple point defenses on her, but she's going to come around, be able to take down the air defense, the archer tower, and the CC troops right here. Doesn't have a poison for that wizard, which can be bad, but fortunately the hound does pop as he uses her queen ability right there, uses the queen's ability to take out the rest of the CC troops. Almost does die right here because of the pups, but with that rage and a little bit of luck, she is able to stay alive. Some more wall breakers coming down. I think they do actually get off there, as the queen is going to continue walking around from that side. She's essentially made a funnel of this entire northeast side up here, of the core I should say, or moat, I don't know what you want to call that. So once that is made, he's going to send in the giants and the Valks, with a wizard kind of helping funnel over here as well. Just going to let them do their thing. They're going to bust through this wall, or he's going to earthquake. Going to split a little bit right here through these extra buildings, but they are going to get to the core. Does have a heal down, because as you can see, he just has so many troops up at this point that those 5 beams from the Inferno just isn't doing all that much against him, as the giants and the Valks are going to rip through that core, taking out all the Teslas, taking out the Expos and the Arch Tower, etc., and then just going to send in all the hogs from that southwest side as they continue to work around and take out this west side. And his queen still doing her thing, a couple wizards helping with cleanup for a very pretty attack here from Charlie, taking out that nice triple, Town Hall 10 fresh triple. My dog's hunting flies again. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. Next attack, we're gonna come down to the Town Hall 9 attacks, where we have Jimbo taking out a 9.5, doing a little Queen Walk MassValk. You know, kind of old meta style base, nothing too crazy going on here, but still a nice attack nonetheless. Gonna get a nice little funnel over there with a minion or two, as the queen continues walking around, just gonna come all the way around the west side, just using her to make a funnel, and gonna send in all the Valks up there from the northeast. There's also a hole in the base, which actually seems to be by design, interestingly enough. That's very, very strange. Doesn't really matter though. I don't think he wanted his earthquake not to open up the core, but it doesn't really matter, as he's just going to be able to bust that wall anyway. He's going to go down. This is actually a really cool part of his attack. So once he's going to send in his Valks, he's actually going to send in these 3 hogs on this archer tower and cannon. And what that's going to do is funnel his Valks. As you can see, with at least the archer tower gone, all his Valks are going to continue working around. Some of them might go north, but none of them are going to go south. I say that as to continue to go south, but, you know, whatever. It is still a very good funnel and a very good use of 15 troop space to be able to make sure you have a good Valk funnel. And they do get a little bit of a split right there, as I mentioned, but they are going to come back together as they're going into the core, as they're going to drop a heal down, keeping them full alive going into the core, and then just going to drop a rage to cover those Teslas and the Expos right there, as the Valks are just going to rip through there. That Hound in the CC doing nothing, of course, and does have another heal, as they're going to bust through a wall right here. So a very high value heal, because they're sitting in it for quite a long time. So very smart spell from Jimbo there, as they're going to continue working around, being able to take down these last point defenses and buildings down in the southern compartment. And as you can see, they're just ripping through really easily. Does have some wizards to help clean up. Didn't really even need them, honestly. But the Hound does pop, so it was still nice to have him to get through a little quicker. But very nice attack there to Jimbo, swagging a couple goblins as well. Next attack, we're going to come down to 22, where we have FangFang going in doing a zapquake Queen Walk drag attack. So as you can see, he's going to be able to reach 3 air defenses here with his Queen Walk. Well, I say that. So this was a fresh attack, but I can't read my writing to know it, but I think this is a fresh attack. And so when he's doing his Queen Walk right here, he's not actually sure what she's going to do after she takes out the air defense. So as you can see, he's waiting on his zapquake. So if she's going to bust through this wall right here by the archer tower, he's going to zapquake up here in the north by the sweeper. If she pops out and goes around, then he's going to bust the zapquake right here by the cannon, on the AD right here by the cannon. So as you see, takes out the hound, takes out all the pups, and then after that, she does, of course, make her decision, which is to... wait for it, bust that around. There you go. So as soon as he sees that, gonna drop that zapquake down. Very nicely done there. Good job of being aware of the surroundings and thinking about the way the troop is pathing, as opposed to just making a plan and going with it. So as you can see, Queen is gonna come through really easily right here. Doesn't have to drop the dragons up there on the north, because the Queen is gonna be able to come inside that compartment. Gross. And take out the enemy Queen. King is working around as well, and gonna send all the drags in, as well as this last lava hound, or single lava hound I should say, which is just going to do a little bit of tanking through the middle. Really didn't need the lava hound in hindsight, now that he saw how everything was pathing, but it didn't really matter. Could have at least saved it anyway to be tanking these wizard towers for the loons, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to work through really easily here through these wizard towers. Teslas are going to do some work on them, but the expo is on the on his hound, so that's very nice, as his Queen is going to continue helping. Dragons are all just, staying up really well right here. No real threat in the backside, just this one archer tower, and that's obviously not going to be doing anything that's going to take out these last 4 dragons. The hound does pop, loses some of his pups to a red mine there, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's okay, as the dragons and his Queen and a couple wizards are working around to get a very nice cleanup here on this base. So very nice attack here to FangFang. Very good execution. Next attack, we're going to come down to, let's show HR's attack. So we have High Roller doing a GoVaHo here. Actually, no. I take it back. I don't want to show this one. I'm going to show his other attack. Here we go. Sorry about that. They were both fresh, they're both high value, but this one is a GoVaLo. So a little less common, I guess I should say. But as you can see, once he gets the Valks to the core of this base, all the air defenses will be down. So he's just going to send in a couple golems to make a really, really wide funnel right here. Once the funnel's made, all the Valks are going to come down and just continue working around to the core here. Going to send in that jump, and they're going to come in, take out the enemy Queen, and take out the King and all these air defenses here with the support of the Queen and his own heroes, or yeah, just his heroes. But they're going to take out this middle bit. Does pop the hound, a bit of an inopportune time to pop it, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. They're going to bust through that wall, be able to take out that last air defense. Still hasn't even started his loons at this point, which is a little bit slow in my opinion, but he's just going to drop all his loons on these archer towers and exterior point defenses here. And they're just going to continue working around. Does have 1 haste for them as well, but does have really good tanking for them, so really doesn't even need it, as they're going to come through taking out these last defenses for a very, very pretty GoVaLo here from High Roller, just taking advantage of getting all the air defenses down, right? So, cool attack, going speed up through the cleanup. Would it queen up for the speed up to the cleanup? Oh, Bob Loblaw, attorney at law. Bob Loblaw's law blog. Okay, coming down... Actually, let's come up to 25. Sorry, I'm going in a weird order here. But we're going to have Cool Opotamus doing a Shattered LaLoon. This is sort of an old meta style base of centralized Queen, spread out air defenses, and honestly, this is probably a year-old meta. I mean, the wizard towers are close to the air defenses too, so this is really early Lava Hound meta, and not the best base, but as you can see, he's just going to take advantage of that, getting that jump down, getting the Queen to take it down. Does have a hound in the CC, which is going to get his Queen locked onto it, which is a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter, as he's going to send in all his lava hounds and loons coming around right here. Going to drop that rage to cover all these loons here going into that expo, so very nice rage, very high value. Then going to drop the haste, or actually drops a rage rather, to cover that other little compartment, and a haste to help cover the sweeper as everything is moving in very nicely here, working around, taking out that last expo and wizard tower, and then plenty of pups and a wizard working away around for a good cleanup. So very nice attack here to Cool Opotamus. GG. And let's see, let's go to 29 now, where we're going to watch Brad doing, once again, a HGH. You've seen it 100 of times now, but still, it's still fun to watch, so I'll keep on showing it. All the giants are going to come down, get the healers on them. Once they're busting through the wall, he's going to send in his Valks, as always. Queen going down. Once everything is good, bust the wall, Valks go down. Going to be able to take out that enemy queen. Does have a Dragloon in the CC, which is probably the worst possible CC for an HGH, but this was a fresh attack, and it's just kind of a risk you take. Is going to lose his giants eventually here in the core, but it doesn't matter enough to where it kills the raid, as they're still able to get through most of the core right here before dying to that dragon, and unfortunately his queen also did not go in, which hurt him. But, you know, they take out the Expos, and then he's just going to send in all his hogs around here from the southwest side, and taking advantage of the fact that he knows exactly where the double giant bombs are, which is in between these Teslas here in the moat. I mean, a very common internet base being shown here. I guess not that common anymore, but you know, it's very easy to single trip them, even just basically ignoring them, as this one hog is going to get a single trip right here. Is going to go and heal above them, just in case they did make bacon. He was saving his hogs as well, but it didn't matter because those hogs stayed alive and continued to work around to get the rest of this base taken out, and going to be a very nice fresh triple here from Brad. HR's was also fresh, if I did not mention that, but still. Next attack, we're going to come all the way down to 35. Where we have Gabris doing a fresh attack here, doing a Shattered LaLoon. So he's just going to get the little lure right here with a hog. Does have a golem come out of the CC. Going to pull it over there with a wizard, and then just decides to ignore it. Just going to make a nice little funnel here using a couple golems. Going to send in his queen. Once the funnel is made, going to send in his king, and has that jump to get to the core. And as you can see, can reach 2 air defenses pretty easily. Plus, if his golems go to the core, he's going to have very good tanking as well from these Expos and other interior defenses here. And once they're moving in nice and easily, well, speed it up a little bit as they're working their way in. Golem did take up a little bit of time, but didn't really matter. Once they're moving in, going to send in all the lava hounds and just be putting loons on these exposed point defenses here. I like this little pack of loons here that was able to target the sweepers as well. That was a difficult drop, but he was able to get it. Taking out the wizard tower, sweeper, continuing to work around, just coming in with some haste, and then one rage, kind of coming where they're all going to converge there. Unfortunately, they are going to die a little bit here in the middle, but has just enough really oomph from that northeast side to be able to take out the Expos. So a little bit fortunate there that he was able to take those down instead of pathing around. Didn't really matter though. Tons of pups still alive. A couple loons in the pocket to help with cleanup, as the wizards, loons, and pups are going to continue working around, taking out the rest of this base for a very nice fresh triple here from Gabris. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Good, good. Nice tech. Next attack, and our last attack, is going to be 36, where we're going to have Julian, and Julian is going to do a little zapquake PentaLaLoon. So he's actually going to zapquake this air defense in the southeast right here, and he's just going to wait for the queen to come around and take her out as well. So he's kind of not relying on her to go down to his zapquake, but you know, it's going to help out a lot, right? Even if she had a little bit of a sliver of health, I don't think it would have really mattered. But he does go ahead and wait as she's coming around right here, drops that zapquake. Just about perfect timing, maybe a touch early, but it didn't matter. She does go down. Once she's down, he's going to send in the lava hounds and the loons, just working them all the way around. Going to use his king and his queen just kind of to help with pathing right here, as they're going to take out the wizard tower and a couple Teslas also. But didn't really matter, as they're basically able to just collapse this base, this LaLoon right here. And does have one more rage covering here. Doesn't actually use it, as the wizard tower was distracted for a long time. But as everything is coming over to these sweepers and this last air defense, he is going to go ahead and use that rage, just making sure they have enough to get through the last of this base. Does go and use his cleanup loons as well, making sure that air defense goes down. Didn't really matter though, with his king and his queen split right here going around. They're going to be able to take down the last of these buildings really easily here, with plenty of pups alive as well. So very cool attack here from Julian, doing a PentaLaLoon. It's still alive, people. So looking at the stats, you can see, yeah, they were just a 2-star clan. Looks like every 3-star they had was an accident, and of course they didn't clear. A couple of our 11s, I think left a couple of them completely 0-starred. Oh, I had the most heroic attack with mine, even though I didn't even have a 3-star this war, so that's broken. Yep, so very nice war, though, to our guys. And as you saw from the recap, I really showed a lot and there weren't that many Valk attacks. I mean, we had a lot of air attacks. We had a lot of, I mean, we still had some Valk attacks for sure, GoVaHos, MassValk, and GoVaLos, but, you know, still, it's very nice being able to see HGHs, just normal shattered GoHos, shattered LaLoons, PentaLaLoon, zapquake drag attacks, GoGiVa, whatever you want to call that, and of course, the bowler wall, right? So we saw a lot of different attacks this war, and it's very good to have wars like this where we can kind of practice and learn troop AI without feeling the need to do the safest attack, which is probably an attack involving Valks right now, right? But still, you know, a very good war all around. Thank you to Portugal for the war. Thank you to my clanmates, as always, for the great content. And thank you for watching the recap. Anyway, guys, do take care, and I'll be back soon with more content. Peace.